Hi guys, welcome to another 2-minute devotion with Dad. Before you get confused, yes, we're in Genesis suddenly. I was doing some background reading on the events of Jesus in Luke, and I decided, you know what, I wanted to have a look at some background places prior to the times of Jesus. And I just wanted to share something with you that I came across. So I was reading about Abraham, who's the father of many nations, and wanted to read his backstory. So it says he was headed for the land of Canaan. So I'll just go back. Terah took his son Abram, his daughter-in-law Sarai, and his grandson Lot, because Lot's dad had already just passed away, and moved away from Ur of the Chaldeans. He was headed for the land of Canaan, but they stopped at Haran and settled there and lived for 205 years while still in Haran. So I was thinking, okay, where is Ur, Haran, and Canaan? And I was looking for some maps, and I actually found the Smarter Bible, by the way. Looks a bit different. So here we have Ur, Canaan, which is through here, and Haran. I was thinking, how the heck can you go like that? And this map here shows the journey. I'm guessing they followed the rivers to get their sustenance, because through here is the desert. So they went up and over, but they stopped here and didn't move on for a couple of 100 years. And then he moved down through here. And then later on here, he was forced into Egypt due to a drought, and then ended up coming back and settling there. This was on the way through to Egypt. That's when God revealed himself to Abram and promised him to give him that land. But he didn't stay there. He went away again and then came back. But even though he was already originally heading for Canaan, unbeknownst to the plan that God had for him, he went up and over. And it got me thinking, isn't that the story of our lives? Where, God says, I have plans for you and all that. And then suddenly we're caught up in this detour, this ultimate, absolute detour that feels like a total waste of time. And we're just burning through calendar years and decades of our lives, and it feels like we're wasting time. And then we're getting patient, as Abram did, and Ishmael comes along and destroys nations at a time. And what is going on? And I just wanted to take a moment of time out, because there was a little article here which I thought was really cool, just like little notes in the Bible. I want to read one of them. Terah left Ur to go to Canaan, but settled in Haran instead. Why did he stop halfway? It may have been his health, the climate, even fear, but this did not challenge Abram's calling. The Lord said to Abram, he had respect for his father's leadership, but when Terah died, Abram moved on to Canaan. God's will may come in stages, just as the time in Haran was a transition period for Abram. So God may give us transition periods and times of waiting to help us depend on him and trust his timing. If we wait patiently to do his will during the transition times, we will be better prepared to serve him as we should when he calls us. And there is a massive truth in that. And I just wanted to take a moment today to just remind us of these things, because God's will is happening in your life right now. And even though we might feel like we've gone the wrong way or done the wrong thing, made the wrong choices, we still made choices and follow through. But as you can see here, right at the top of the detour is where they stayed for a couple of 100 years. Now, if we were to equate that to Abram's life, that's like a third of his life that he, quote unquote, wasted. But it was right at the right timing when this happened here. That's when Abram was called, and where he became father of many nations. God's timing prevailed, not his, because when Abram tried to do his timing, it stuffed up. So I just want to encourage and challenge you today wait on the Lord's time. Yes, you have to do something during those times. You still have to wake up, go to work, study, eat, sleep, whatever. But you still are in God's plan while you're waiting for him to act and bring things together. And you'll know when these things happen, because then suddenly there'll be a shift. So I just wanted to encourage everybody who's listening, if you have prayed for God's will in your life and you are actively waiting for him to guide you, then go about your days with confidence, knowing he's guiding your steps. Because as the proverb says, I can't remember which one it is now, in his heart the man plans his way, but God directs the steps. Here is the way. Here are the steps. And even then they go off the map and come back. And that is probably one of the hardest lessons a human could learn, because we want to get straight from A to B. We just want to go straight there. And in time too, we want to get directly there. We don't want to wait. It's probably the worst thing about today's generation of instant gratification. They want it now. They want it yesterday. They want it waiting for them before they even thought about it. But that's not how God works. And the sooner, as long as it takes to learn that, is how long God will take to teach us. Think about that. As long as it takes for you to learn that is how long it will take for God to teach you that. And he's got eternity up his sleeve. He doesn't care. We've got our lives from start to finish, however long that might be. If we're lucky, 100 years, usually 60 to 80. But God's timing, when implemented in perfect timing, is where things happen, and where God's plan and will for our lives can really start to kick on. That's a mind bender, but yeah, I just wanted to take a moment and just remind myself even of these things, and yourself as you're going through your lives. And hopefully in due time, God will show you where you are ultimately going. Or not hopefully, definitely he will. But hopefully you will be patient during this process. And it'll all go well. Bless you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.